Dave here from Amplify, and I'm talking to Secondhand Serenade. Uh, don't adjust your screens. It's a name. The look, you look. How are you, man? You good?
Yeah, very good, very good. Very excited to be coming back to Australia.
Yes, 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 yes. Okay, so Secondhand Serenade's obviously your stage name. What's
hmm
what's your real name?
It is John.
John. How are
Yes.
you, John? Um, I see you started as a member of bands before going solo. When did you get the songwriting bug?
I started playing music's kind of been in my family my whole life. My dad was a jazz musician in Europe for like 20 years. My brother played bass and guitar. And so I always kind of wanted to play it, but I listened to rock and they were like classically trained and I was a little like garage band guy, like, from when I was a freshman. And I just kind of did it my own way. And I just started and I never stopped. It was always something that I had to do, whether it was going to do anything for me financially or with, a profession or just something that I would do. I'd be playing music now, no matter what, even if I wasn't doing this for a living.
Well, in your case, it did become lucrative. Can you describe your journey? Because you started over 20 years ago now. Just give a brief description of your journey, especially your success in the bygone MySpace era. Because most of us, most of the youngsters wouldn't even know what a MySpace is.
Yeah.
Obviously, it was the standard before Facebook and all the rest sort of got going. So,
Yeah.
and you made a decent name for yourself in that sort of format. So, give us a brief description of the last sort of 20 years, especially you haven't made an album since 2017. So, what's been happening?
A lot. I mean, in the very beginning, Awake was just something that I felt like I had to do. I just wanted to. I had a little boy at that point. And I just wanted to record one album, whether it worked out or not. If it didn't work out, I would just, buck up, work hard, and support the family like I'm supposed to. And if it did, great. And then I could do that and kill two birds with one stone. But I always just wanted to record an album. So I went and did it, and I put it up on MySpace. I had the support of my now ex-wife, but then she was my wife, and my parents. I told them 1 year. If it works out, great. If it doesn't, I'll get back to work. And so I did that, and because of MySpace, I mean, you have to look at it this way. MySpace was the very first social network, really. It was the first way. At that point, it was almost impossible to make a name for yourself in music without having a label, without being discovered. And it was the first one to be able to take independent artists and connect them with fans across the globe, which was such a profound idea. And they even built in tools like, having the charts, like independent. They had a label chart and an independent chart, so literally anybody could get
They
notoriety and
actually
growth
they
from
actually
that.
work like social media should work.
Exactly. There has never been something that integrated the relationship between fans and bands
Like it.
like that ever since. And being able to put somebody's song on your page to spread that and be like, this is my song. I found them first. They felt like they were part of that growth with the artist, and in fact, they were. So it was such a it was I recorded Awake at the very perfect time when MySpace was at its just it was on its way up, and that growth was just exponential. And yeah, I mean, it was timing was everything with me, and the fans just latched onto that record. It was something really special for them, and it was special for me to see that kind of response. And then as things progressed, I did well selling that album. Ended up signing with a label, this amazing guy, Daniel Glass, with Glass Note Records, and he believed in me more than anybody else. And we went out and made the album A Twist in My Story that had obviously Fall For You, and Fall For You was a huge break into mainstream for me.
Yep.
Uh, and one that just keeps on coming up now, through social media again, albeit different social medias than it was back then. But yeah, it's been a really really wild journey for me, and to be able to say that I still do this for a living 20 years later is incredible, and to be doing the kind of tour that I'm
Did you,
doing across the
yeah.
world. It's
Did, did you
it's
tour a bit through that process, or did you tour a bit through that process?
Yes, I mean, so I've been touring pretty steadily, you know, at that point, 2008 to 2012, I was on the road for like 11 months out of the year. I mean,
Yeah.
I was heavily touring, and then it definitely then I slowed down a bit, got straightened out. I made a move to Nashville in 2013. Started working with some artists here, and writing in town. Put together a studio and everything, and so that was great. That was something that I was really passionate about, because my last couple of releases hadn't done as well as Twist in My Story, so I was just kind of slowing down. And it wasn't just that; it was the whole genre, the whole emo genre in general, kind of fell off the like radio and popular music thing, because EDM and electronic got so heavily like played at that point, so you wouldn't hear rock bands nearly as much on the radio. I mean, barely at all. You would
Well,
hear any sort of like band.
the majors
And
started to take control back again because,
yeah,
eventually
exactly.
when, so streaming came out and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And then the transition of streaming platforms was like, when they started, it was like people aren't buying the records, but people aren't streaming it enough yet, so you're not making any money. Like, you're like that little dip between like 2012 and 2015. It
Well,
was like
most people
everything
don't
just
make money out of it now. You might because you might have some following. Most people really,
yeah.
they prefer to be
No,
going their own
it's
stuff.
very difficult, very difficult. I mean, the streaming, the numbers. I mean, Spotify is definitely the biggest culprit. I mean, they give you the least per stream, and it is tough, especially for artists trying to
You
really
couldn't
come
do it
up and grow their.
again. You couldn't do
No,
what you
no,
did again, could you?
no, absolutely not.
Because
It's very
basically
difficult. But now everybody,
you could potentially blow up on something, but it's usually because of
exactly.
the TikTok age is short-sighted. So you might blow up on
Yes.
something, but to be sustainable, you've really got to have everything going and label and all that sort of stuff today. Whereas back then it was a little bit simpler because people didn't
Yeah.
want to take your attention away.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And I mean, it is one of those things you can definitely, and I've seen, I've heard a lot of people talking in Nashville too. The labels are not taking as much emphasis
No,
on like TikTok, because they're seeing that it doesn't translate necessarily to streaming numbers,
no.
but you can have a massive following on TikTok, but it's just, you have to look at them as two different entities. But,
Oh, harder,
it's just,
harder. But anyhow,
yeah.
how would you describe your music?
Uh, you know, Emotional and personal. I started making music. It was just me, a guitar, and my vocal. And so that's something that you do, especially when you're with a crowd, that makes you very vulnerable. You don't have any kind of support up there but you and your voice. So you have to really do your job well, to be able to connect with the
Yeah,
fans. And so I've always just tried to make it as personal to me as possible. And the way that people see my songs is interesting, because they might have a different explanation of what the meaning behind it is than me, because I go into such specific details, and the way they may perceive it is different than I did when I wrote it, because it means that to me and what I experienced and what I know about it.
sure.
So I believe it's definitely music that can
Is that the
that
second-hand
can
reference?
I'm sorry.
Is that the second-hand reference, second-hand serenade? Is that the fact
Yeah,
that you
so
sort of you're giving it to
so
them and they're getting it from you, sort of thing?
yeah, so when I got started, when I came up with that name, I would write songs about me and my girlfriend, me and my wife, and I would sing them to her, and she would always get to hear it first because it was about her, and then I go out and play shows, and it's like I'm giving them the secondhand serenade.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
Okay. Your last album, like we said, come out in 2017. Any new music on the horizon?
Absolutely. I'm glad you asked. I'm going to be dropping a new song in early December, and it will be out. I don't have the release date quite yet. I'll know. I think I'll be announcing next week, but it's going to be a new song. That's the first song that's going to be released off a new album that I'm working on. And I'm nearly halfway done with the album at this point,
So
and so I'll be dropping
26,
that.
the album in 26.
Yeah, we'll definitely have the album in 26. But this first song is going to come out, and I'll be playing it on the tour as well. So people that want a chance to know it and recognize it will be able to. It'll be on Spotify in early December, and I'll be announcing shortly the date.
Okay.
So I'm very, very excited about that. I've been excited about this music mostly because I'm not trying to do radio with it. I'm not trying to fit into a club. I want to make the music for all the fans that are there and have been there for the past 20 years.
I think they'll
So
be
I'm
excited because it's been a while, so they'll be excited to get some new
yeah,
material.
I'm
Um,
sure. Yeah, I'm very, very,
and
very, very happy about that.
what artists influenced you this time around?
You know, kind of the same. Like I listening to new modern music, like I say modern, like it's all kind of modern, you know, it's relative, but listening to music that's been coming out in the past few years, I'm not like hugely inspired by it. I've heard a few songs that really get to me, but honestly, the music that kind of built me, it's always what I'm going to listen to when I'm creating my music. And the newer music might help,
Influence.
move along stylistically, but it's not what's going to inspire me, like put me in the headspace that I want to be when I write. You know what I mean? It's a different thing to go from style and headspace. And so, I mean, like honestly, Beach Boys was my first concert that I ever went to. My parents took me there. I was 8 years old. I heard them play Sloop John B, which was my favorite song at the time. I'll never forget it. It was the first time I heard harmonies like that, and that's why I've been
Brian
obsessed with
Wilson.
harmonies ever since. And that's why I have so many harmonies in my music, and I would just layer harmonies over harmonies when I was creating, and it's all because of Beach Boys. And then you go, obviously, Weezer was a huge influence to me as well. Butterfly was a song that it was the first song I learned on the acoustic guitar, and it was also referenced in my song Your Call off of the Awake album. So that was a extremely important band for me. And uh, there were so many,
Too many. Okay.
so many. Yeah, yeah.
You've got 3 dates coming up on the East Coast. First question is
Mhm.
Perth and Adelaide are saying, What's wrong with us?" But but
Well, hey, we were trying to get the right shows. It was all about timing and working with the promoters.
it's
But
December. It's like it's almost Christmas week. So
yeah, exactly. So it was kind of difficult to get the promoters and everything come together with the venues, especially that close to the holidays. But that's not to say I plan on coming back next summer as
with
well,
the album,
because I will be touring the album and
yeah,
or the new record,
yeah.
and I'll be working with a band that time. So I'm excited about that. So
Yeah,
don't worry,
good taste.
Perth, I'll,
Coming
I'll
back.
definitely back, and
What
Adelaide as well. So.
what are you looking forward to? What can the fans expect?
Um, a very, very emotional journey. I mean, from the beginning, I mean, there's just this incredible orchestral intro before anything starts, and then it doesn't let up the whole show. So when you listen to the acoustic album, it's, one song after another, and it kind of has like, it definitely has a vibe and a flow to it, because back then albums were meant to be listened to front to back, right? But this brings a whole new meaning to that. I mean, it takes an album that should be like 40 minutes, and turns it into like an hour and 15 minutes. And
Oh, that's good.
it's just, yeah, it's really incredible. It's the first time I've I've built out a show like this to go straight through and just give an experience to the fans that I
I
mean,
think
in my opinion, it's unreal.
personally, I think in the TikTok age, you've got to have a point of difference because basically
Yeah,
a lot of people are trying to do the same thing and it just doesn't work for everyone. And so if you
yeah.
come along with an old school, mentality, you'll probably stand out and it'll probably be popular because a lot of
Oh
people
yeah,
in this podcast age, everyone's trying to find something that they want to connect with. So
yeah,
there's so much similar, they're looking for that, bit of difference. I
yeah.
think, especially with the, you've got a decent name, so people sort of believe it coming along, and so you'll probably pick up quite a few new fans. I think the album tour will be pretty cool next year. If you could perform with any music artist, alive or dead, who would you choose and why?
Oh wow. I mean, I gotta go back to Beach Boys, and if I could sing just one song with
Brian.
them coming into harmony with me, that would be like that's the ultimate bucket list.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Do you still have long-term aspirations? Because you only look like you're about 25, but obviously you're older than that. So,
Yeah, I'm significantly older than that. My oldest son just graduated UC Santa Barbara,
uh,
and and then my youngest son is 3 years old and he's running around upstairs.
when you say Santa Barbara, I thought you're not living in Nashville. You only went there at that stage. You're back in California.
No, I live in Nashville now. Have for 13 years. They go to school. They go to college over there in Santa Barbara. Or now he's done with college and he's got a job in Silicon Valley. But and then my younger son is also in Santa Barbara. He's going to be going to UC Santa Barbara as
If
well.
you're a muso, Nashville's fantastic. But if you had your choice, you'd probably be in California. Let's face it.
Honestly, I mean, I love the beaches, but there is something so special about Nashville.
Yeah,
The writing community, just the community of artists is something that I've never experienced. I've done some writing in New York and definitely in Los Angeles, but this to me is the ultimate place for creation, and I couldn't imagine myself anywhere else.
yeah. It's amazing that it holds up that well. But everyone says the same thing because you'd think over the years it had become super commercial and a bit
Yeah,
silly and all that sort of stuff. But everyone, I interview a lot of people, and a lot of people live there and go there, especially to try and find some inspiration, and they find it. So it's
yeah.
obviously a pretty cool place. Okay, how about a bit of advice for people that are thinking about taking the quick secondhand serenade elevator to success uh, in this difficult age? What would you be telling them?
um, try to, I guess, most important, something that I struggled for a long time. Know yourself. Play what means the most to you, and if you do that, then people will recognize it because it will be authentic and
Yeah,
it'll be more interesting than anything else you could do trying to be play like somebody else or fit in to some crowd of artists. Just play what means something to you,
you'll find a
and that's the most
sustainable.
important part.
You'll find a sustainable following because they'll trust
Yeah,
you rather
and
than
that's what's going
just
to
put
set you
one song.
apart.
Yeah, yeah.
There's no point in being just like everything else and not being able to stand out when you just could set yourself apart, in the beginning and be ahead of the curve.
All right, let's finish on some quick fire questions. All right. We're going to test you, and most people don't like them, so that's why I like.
We'll see.
What's the craziest thing you've ever done? Most people don't answer this because obviously I interview a lot of heavy bands and hard people, and they probably what comes to mind is something illegal. They probably got drunk and killed 8 people or something rather in some place. So they generally don't answer. But what's the craziest thing you've ever done?
For me, probably. Well,
MySpace
I
is
mean,
crazy because that was the
I'm
thing.
not gonna. I'm not going to talk about any like crazy party things. Well, I refereed a bikini boxing match in the Philippines at a bar at
Yeah.
5 a.m. And I was a little bit intoxicated at that point. I might have gotten knocked down at some
How
point.
long ago?
This was maybe 2013,
So in the
14.
phone era, So is there any recording of it, or we can't see?
No, there was, but I can't seem to find it.
You
Like I
managed you
remember there
managed to
was.
buy it
So
all.
I'm gonna ask my tour manager because I know that he might have had it. So I might send you something by the time
No.
I get to Australia.
What's the one topic you can talk about for hours?
Music. I mean, absolutely music. Definitely not politics. I
No,
don't even want to get into
not,
that with
not,
anybody, but
not over there.
I love talking about music. I mean, I could talk about gear. I could talk about studio gear for a
Well,
day straight.
it's been your life in your case because you really started young and you had this passion right from a young age. So it would be something I would imagine after, probably 40 odd years, 40 years in the doing it. Think about what's the thing you like most about yourself?
Um, I guess I would have to say my devotion to my family.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And the first one, the second one, the third one, the fourth one, which family? I know, I'm just saying. You were divorced, I presume.
Yeah, I am divorced, but also remarried. I've been married since 2017 to my wife Veronica.
Is it a coincidence? Is that when the last album came out? Is she not?
Yeah,
Is she
maybe.
keeping you
I mean,
busy? She's keeping you busy mowing the lawns.
definitely, yeah. And it's been a lot with the 3-year-old. I mean, ever since he was born, things kind of slowed down for a little bit, but now I'm back full force, and it's really
Oh, we
exciting.
look forward to it. Okay, here we go. Final. These can be all time, or these are your favorites. Favorite album?
Favorite album, Weezer Pinkerton.
Yeah, it's a great album. Favorite artist?
Favorite artist? Well, that's twofold. Can I give like three answers
You can give
before
whatever you
like
want. It's your
okay, yeah, early on, definitely Beach Boys. Uh, Middle of the road. I guess of all time, honestly, after that, it would be something between the Get Up Kids and Blink 182. Both had a very very profound meaning to me. So
Yep. Favorite movie?
favorite movie? Ooh, that's a tough one. I have a lot of these too.
The Sound of Music.
That's a great one. Me and my wife actually went to Salzburg, and we got to go to a concert, an orchestral concert in
Really?
the castle. Yeah,
Amazing.
it was incredible. We want to go back
Amazing.
so much. But honestly, favorite movie, it's a movie that me and my wife have in common, and we just love Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Well, there you go. Favorite place to visit?
Favorite place to visit? Well, Australia, of
Of
course.
course. What a
Of
what a what
course.
a what a salesman. Favorite venue to play?
Favorite venue to play. Um, One of my most memorable venues I ever played was the Cultural Center in Bali. Um, you're just surrounded by these just cut out cliffs. It was the most picturesque, beautiful uh, ever venue that I've played. So that one I definitely want to go out and play that one again. It was kind of like a Balinese Red Rocks type of thing, except flat.
Have you played Red Rocks?
I have not. That's definitely my bucket list venue.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
that's
No,
that's one
no.
that I'd really like to play.
You too at Red Rocks. It was okay. Favorite food?
Favorite food? Hmm. I got a lot of that too. I mean, I love to cook, but if I had to say favorite type of food, I mean, I love really good Japanese food. But it has to be great. The food in Japan, the food in Tokyo is among the best meals I've ever had in my life.
It doesn't
Um,
always
every
translate.
time that
It doesn't always
I'm sorry.
translate by the time it gets to America, but it's all
No,
the same.
no,
It is good.
definitely not. But the food in Tokyo is my favorite food.
Favorite drink?
Whiskey or old fashioned? I
Have
mean, I know an old
you got a
fashioned is
brand?
whiskey, but like
Have
I
you got
drink
a
whiskey neat.
have you got a brand?
Um, yeah, I mean, I have I definitely have my go-to. I'll usually just drink bullet bourbon neat. But then if I get, kind of fancier with it, like I like Willet pot still. Weller is good as well.
So you're a
But
whiskey
yeah,
man.
generally I'm happy with a bullet bourbon.
Favorite person in history, apart from me.
Apart from you, um, that is difficult as well. But I would have to say, let me see. That's a really tough one. That one's
Just
the
go,
toughest
just
one that
say
I've
my
gotten.
wife. Just say my wife.
Yeah, I mean,
That's safe.
pretty much my wife, but then
Safe.
my son, and then my other son, and then my other son. So,
But there's all the Mandela and all this. There's probably. I'd love to talk to you. You seem like a very pragmatic individual, and I'd love to. I'd love. I'm going to do a podcast at some stage about more conscious stuff because I love getting in deep about because most of our journey is very internal, even though we don't understand it because we get very external and follow everything that we want to follow until we break down at some point, and then we get
hmm
internal. Or in your case, you probably made a lot. You got famous and all this sort of stuff in one era, and then it went sort of slow or whatever. So you had to deal with
hmm
yourself and what's taking place, and then you've got to start again in this. There's all sorts of things, especially with the changes in music and the way that it
hmm
bloody rolls. And so there's
yeah,
personal stuff, and then you get to 40 and 50 and all this sort of gear, and you've got family, and you got to split it, and you start to get existential, and you start to
oh
get
yeah,
and you start to get wise, and then there's politics, and everyone's getting rid of your neighbour and all this sort of stuff. So I'd love to have a longer chat at some stage. Maybe we'll do that, and I'll get you crying in the first 9 minutes, and unload or something like that. All right, last
me too.
question.
I would absolutely love that.
Well, we'll do it. We'll do it. Last question. Favorite tattoo? Because you've got a stack of
Oh,
them.
my favorite tattoo would probably be well, this is my little Yorkie Cash. He's 13 years old, still around, still around
Wow.
and being playful as ever. He's a very special dog. He goes he's 13 years old,
Healthy?
but he's still yeah, he's healthy. One eye's getting pretty blind, but he's still very playful and a lot of fun. But he's like our mascot. We take him everywhere with us, and he is a big
Sensational.
he's our teddy bear. We take him everywhere, so
That's it. That's
wonderful. Well, thank you so much. This was
done. Done.
incredible, and I'd love to follow up and to do that longer
No,
convo.
we will. We will. We will. I'm interested because in my view, there's the moment and there's collaboration with it. So that's it. That's full stop.
Yeah.
The end of the deal. And so whatever takes place, if you're Mandela in jail, you can have a full life. If you're the king, you can have a full life. No matter where you are, you can have a full life. So what the battle is, you've got to deal with the humanity because
Yeah.
there's this whole stack of people on the outside trying to make money. So they're trying to feed you fears and all sorts of stuff so they can sell you stuff. And so everything's coming down especially now, you get crypto and OnlyFans and, make it quick and do this and, all this
Oh yeah.
stuff. And you've got to, navigating it is challenging because someone's going to say you're not good enough. You got a million followers, you need 2 million. You got
Yeah.
$1 million, you can't retire, you need $2 million. You
hmm
got a house, you need three houses. Everyone's coming to you and they're
Yeah.
saying you're not tall enough. You're too old. What do you think you're doing? You're on the road and all this sort of stuff. And you've got to keep on coming back to yourself and saying, who am I? So I think a lot of what you were talking about earlier about, unique and even the way you were speaking about what you're doing, I just encourage you to keep doing it. And regardless of what
Yeah.
takes place, I don't think measurement's a mind thing. So as soon as
Yeah.
you go out and you connect with your audience, that's it. Whether there's five of them there or 5,000 of them there, it doesn't really matter because basically you've got your outcome. You're serving
Yeah.
that audience and they're getting the message and away you go. Fantastic.
Yeah.
And I think
100%.
I think that
That's
that's the go. And like you say, family, you stop with kids and all this sort of stuff. So keep enjoying your life. And yeah, when you're promoting something, yell out. We'll share this YouTube. You can as a collaborator on Instagram, you can share it around. And when
okay, great.
when you need to, yell out. You'll be
Yeah,
able to find
absolutely.
me.
Let's please stay in touch. Just message me on Instagram, and we'll get back together soon.
Namaste, brother. Have a great tour.
Awesome. Thank you so much for the
I look
great
forward.
conversation, man.
I look forward to the album.
Awesome, man. Thank you very much.
All the
I'll
best.
see you soon.
Bye.